Jay White unhappy with AEW Full Gear creative. Plus, future Young Bucks plans have been revealed. And a WWE star seems to be teasing a Sasha Banks return. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now.
I can't do it, Tom. I've already tried.
We are not starting the news until Andrew completes this puzzle.
Please, that's too much pressure. Too much pressure.
We're not going to start until you've done it.
Yay!
Close enough. I tell you what, I feel better about that attempt than you do, apparently, about Jay White's creative at Full Gear.
Aha! Should we tell the people what's going on, Tom?
I think we shall. Wade Keller of PW Torch wrote an article about the Continental Classic contestants, and in it revealed that Jay White may be motivated to be a standout in the tournament for a very specific reason.
Yeah, White wasn't thrilled based on what I've been told, said Wade Keller, how things went with the build and the match against MJF, so he might be motivated to shine in this tournament. He's still among the top choices for Tony Khan to build around as a top star in his company for years to come.
Now, without a doubt, when Jay White came in, that was the vibe, that this is a guy that you are going to put in the mix at the top, and someone that you can have as a champion at some point. So interesting to hear that he wasn't happy with the way that it was built. This was the story of Jay White stealing the title for an extended amount of time from MJF,
Yes.
and then the sort of stone cold MJF, Super Cena MJF performance at the end of Full Gear. That and I think that there's a school of thought that says that Jay White probably was a bit damaged by that, as epic a performance as it was from MJF.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because, you know, MJF comes in after being attacked. Basically, you know, he's got one leg almost. And yeah, he goes out there and absolutely beats Jay White. Clean, 1, 2, 3. Like, and the thing is, as well, is Jay White has been built, at least within New Japan, as this top heel, a fantastic wrestler who can go toe-to-toe with some of the best as well. And it doesn't feel like we've got that Jay White in AEW, at least not yet.
We would say it wasn't completely clean, which is the only little thing, the little caveat that you might keep in there, because there was a bit of Dynamite Diamond Ring action. But like you say, it was the fact that Jay White still looked at the lights after a long performance against a one-legged man in a bottom-kicking contest. And he has done, like you said, his Japan career, that he's done so much already, but still, to the American wrestling fans, the Western wrestling fans, I think there's still lots to show.
I think there is, and the fact that Tony Khan sort of still sees him among the top choices as a top star, to build as a top star in his company, hopefully is a sign of good things to come, better things to come for Jay White, at least in AEW.
Speaking of people in AEW with things to come, the Young Bucks are in conversation. They had that big old strop after they lost to the Golden Jets at Full Gear. We've seen Brandon Cutler doing tweets on their behalf, talking about numerous things. And Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week reveals the Young Bucks are due to return following a hiatus as heels and make what Dave Meltzer is calling a major impact. Now, Dave also says, as well as Brandon Cutler joining them for this heel run, an additional name has been thrown around in Colt Cabana. So Colt, who obviously was a former member of the Dark Order, we thought would do more stuff with Ring of Honor. Lots of conversation around when CM Punk was there about his placement in the grand scheme of things. I think he might fit quite well with a combo of the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler.
I think he might fit quite well as well. Do we still sort of harken on the stuff of yore with the whole CM Punk sort of backstage kerfuffle and everything? Do we still use Colt Cabana in that aspect to kind of push that narrative a little bit more against Kenny Omega?
It's more a case of, can the Young Bucks resist the urge to make reference to it when if Colt Cabana ends up in their faction? I don't think they'll help themselves.
Me neither. I
have a feeling that this heel run, when they when they get back at full speed with Brandon Cutler and possibly with Colt Cabana, I think it's just going to be rife with that sort of thing.
Yeah. Hopefully it works though. Hopefully it lands rather than it. Then again, me saying rather than it feel obnoxious. The Young Bucks when they are heels are just obnoxious anyway.
That's
so it
kind of
like lends into it, doesn't it? Really.
And when they're not heels.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And when they're wrestling. And when they're at Asda just buying some beef.
Absolutely.
So I'd want to keep an eye on. I tell you what's worth keeping an eye on, the clock, because we're counting down the hours of the Black Friday sale at cultaholicshop.com. Not long left to go, and we're fast running out of really lovely things. I believe that the hoodies are sold out now.
Wow. How are the Barrys doing?
The Barrys, I think there's maybe 2 left when I last checked. There's 2 left. So we found a few extra Barry the Sharks from last Christmas. We gave you our hearts. 50% off everything at cultaholicshop.com. T-shirts, Barry the Sharks, Cultaholic mugs, tea time mugs, if you will, pins and everything. You need a discount code. You're a busy mother of 3. You haven't got time for a discount code. 50% off when you get to the checkout. Do it. Get yourself some good Christmas Cultaholic flavored goodness in your shopping trolley, and then your shopping's done. Then you can spend the rest of the next 4 weeks just eating a copious amount and watching Muppets Christmas Carol on repeat.
Exactly. And sitting by the letterbox, just waiting for the items to pop through there.
Do not move from the letterbox. We will know if you do, and we'll send the items straight back. One guy due straight back soon is Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, this comes from the Wrestling Observer as well, and it says Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello should be having their child any day now. Guevara will be returning shortly after she gives birth, as I believe he's now okay from the post-concussion issues.
There was a slight delay in seeing him back in the ring, as he didn't shake off the concussion a little sooner than AEW thought he would, but obviously there's tantamount to paternity leave that's taking place, and I think he's been a miss on television.
I think so too. Again, sort of talking about someone who is perfect as an obnoxious heel, is Sammy Guevara through and through, and I'm happy that he sort of turned that way again and aligned himself with Don Callis. Like, hopefully we get a little bit more of that on the television. I'm sure we will.
And talking of returns, what do we make of this? This was on Bayley's Instagram not that long ago. It's a lovely picture of Bayley, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Sasha Banks, with Bayley and Sasha as the WWE Women's Champions, and the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles represented as well by all 4. This picture posted during the midst of Bayley and Damage Control, and the story they're telling there. It seems as if maybe Bayley's losing control of Damage Control.
I think she very well might be. She may be the weak link this weekend going into the match for that team.
The interesting thing about sharing this picture is the caption underneath it, which says, "I've always got a plan." Which I can't help but feel like drops the little hint to Rooney of maybe Sasha Banks popping back up and saying hi. We know that she was recently considered in the mix for AEW. Was Mercedes Moné. And the commitments with New Japan are ending soon. They're ending soon. And she'll be on the free market. Different world. She has a history as well with Kairi too. She beat Kairi for the championship, I believe, as well in New Japan. So I mean, I would not be opposed to that in the slightest if Sasha was to come back to WWE alongside Bayley. Do you know what? Bayley is one for teasing and setting up random things that never occur.
Yes,
but watch this space on that one. I think the planets have the moons and stars have changed so much since that fateful day that Mercedes Moné and Trinity left WWE for greener pastures. Who knows?
Who knows?
Do you want to try that thing one more time?
I'll give it a go. I need these bits here.
Whilst you're doing that, I will tell you it is live reactions to Survivor Series with this gentleman and Adam Pacitti tomorrow night for Survivor Series. Plus, the What Happened At and the WTF moments are on the way as well with Jack and Ross.
I did it, Tom!
And what a fantastic start to the weekend. Well done, mate. Proud of you.
I'm proud of me as well.
That's better storytelling than most wrestling companies. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Oh, love you, bye. Yes.